This month on Images, learn how COD inspired Raquel Black to open her own restaurant. COD Cares volunteers continue giving back to the DuPage community. And keep warm in the kitchen this winter with this fan-favorite segment of In the Kitchen with Chris. All of that and more on this edition of Images. Happy New Year from Images. Welcome to the first edition of what promises to be another exciting year at COD. I'm Rio Almaria, admissions representative at College of DuPage. It's hard to believe it's another new year already, but with all that happens at College of DuPage year-round, it's easy to see how time flies. As we look ahead to the endless possibilities that lie ahead this year, a simple question comes to mind. What will your story be? A simple question with so many possibilities. For local restaurant owner Raquel Black, the decision to part from her career in healthcare led her to pursue a true passion in becoming a chef. And attending a community college that offered night classes in a highly respected culinary program allowed her to do just that. This is her story.
Before I started going to College of DuPage for the culinary program, I was in healthcare. I was in the administrative financial end of healthcare. I was in healthcare for about 24 years of my life. There were some changes that were taking place in healthcare, very big changes that were taking place with coding, and it was going to be a pretty large undertaking. And I started doing some soul searching as to how I felt about continuing in my healthcare career after dedicating 24 years to it. I found the culinary program by chance. It was actually a recommendation from a friend. I didn't even know that COD had a culinary program. And I started going at night just because I loved cooking and I just wanted to expand my knowledge of cooking, cuisine, pairing ingredients together, not necessarily with the idea that I was going to be opening a restaurant. I was nervous, I was scared, I was excited. I really wasn't thinking necessarily at the time that I was going to be changing careers in the years to come. But I knew that I wanted to do something different. And I think the bottom line is you can't let fear stop you, basically. You have to take that step. The College of DuPage culinary program is fantastic, and I can honestly tell you it has only gotten better. I was a little naive, I'll be honest. I was thinking that this was going to be something that was going to be fun, and I was going to get there and I was going to measure flour and measure butter and I was going to bake, and that was it. I studied and I was amazed at how many different flours there are, how many different types of sugars there are, how many different ways of doing things, how many methods there are, and I was like, okay, well, bottom line is this is what I came here for. And it was a great experience, and the instructors were very supportive. The deeper I got into the college, the more I learned, the deeper I got into the courses, and I started taking more complicated courses, and I started taking classical, and I started taking international cuisine. The more I started thinking about the possibility that having my own little place could be possible, and that's when I started scoping locations, and it just kind of evolved, and it became a force all on its own. It's like something that I started dreaming about. Literally, I would wake up dreaming about recipes, and I can do this and I can do that. And I started driving around looking for locations and where would we open it if we did, assuming we did. And then I started talking a lot about it. We would go to small mom and pop owned restaurants, and I would say, yeah, I want to own something like this, something small like this. And I started, just envisioning what the possibilities could be. Caribbean Corner is a hole in the wall. At least that's what my very first Yelp review says. It was a hole in the wall. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a hole in the wall. I was so excited. It's a small mom and pop owned restaurant. We specialize in Cuban and Puerto Rican cuisine with some Dominican cuisine sprinkled in because I'm from Dominican Republic. I think with all the fusion that's happening nowadays, everybody putting in their own twist and their own little spice into things. I cook a lot of like my mom's recipes, and even those I've kind of maybe tweaked a little bit. I've created the sauces that go in my sandwiches. So for example, my Cuban sandwich is not traditional. Cuban sandwich traditionally has yellow mustard. Mine does not. So there are a lot of variations and a lot of my own, take on things, and I create things and I invent things. We love our customers. I wanted to be part of the community, which we've become. We've got a lot of regular customers that we love, and over the years we've gotten to know them. We know who they are, we know their wives, they come and they visit with their dogs in the patio, and that's what I wanted to have. I wanted to create something that would be a place where customers can feel that they can come. It's like a home away from home, and they can come and hang out. And I think that we've created that.
What will your story be? Discover it at College of DuPage. For more information about enrolling and taking advantage of all that COD has to offer, please contact the admissions office. Visit them on the web at cod.edu or give them a call at 630-942-2380. COD Cares was up to no good this year. Serving the needs of others this winter, that is. The College of DuPage Community Service Program was collecting donations and delivering to various organizations throughout DuPage County during their annual charity event.
We were expecting you, and that's awesome that you're here. Thank you.
It means everything. At this time of the year, there's so much need for all the families that we serve, and it's never ending. So to have a partner like COD help us out just means everything, and every little bit counts.
Thank you. I understand that this is a special day in terms of the stuff that we're...
It sure is. It's
Oh, awesome.
wonderful. This is one of 12 other organizations that the college has decided to get together and
that's
try
fantastic.
to, spread a little holiday cheer.
Oh, this is fantastic. We are so thrilled and honored to be part of the 12, because there's so many agencies in town and in the greater DuPage County area that to be picked, it's something special. We're really grateful for that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was fun.
So I just wanted to thank all of you for the donations that you brought in. So they're all going to be put to direct use here. And having organizations like COD actually take an interest in us is huge. We are a self-sustained organization, so we don't take in any taxpayer dollars at all. So we rely on this to keep ourselves going. So we need help to feed our animals, to take care of them, to clean up after them, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you very much.
Giving back and helping out the animals in the community and helping out the shelter is a huge thing, because as you're told, this is not a taxpayer funded organization, so all the help that they can get is really appreciated.
I think we do it because it just is, it's a need in our community, and we are able to help with that need, and it just makes all of us get together and really think about what is needed, and it's just something we really want to do.
I think it's just great to give back to the community, especially at this time of the year.
It is such an opportunity to make an impact in someone else's life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is on a very large scale, but it's just giving of your personal time and talents and resources to make a difference in somebody else's life.
And what I thought was cool about 360 Youth Services was a lot of the items we donated, a lot of the kids that will be getting the gifts, actually some of them go to COD, so I think that's kind of a great tie-in that we're helping people that we see every day on campus.
For more about COD Cares and future opportunities to help the DuPage community, visit cod.edu/COD Cares. Paralegals engage in a wide range of tasks, including assisting lawyers in civil and criminal trials and hearings, real estate closings, investigations, and corporate matters. They are a valuable and increasingly in-demand member of the legal team. The Paralegal Studies program at College of DuPage provides students with the knowledge, training, skills, values, and attitudes they need to become highly competent, ethical paralegals.
I would say it's a very well-rounded program, and everyone wants to see each other, be happy, and then also be successful.
This program really showed me this is what you need to do if you want to be a paralegal.
So if you want to be a paralegal, if you want to go into that as a career, then you should choose COD.
We would start by taking Introduction to Paralegal Studies, which is just an overview of the profession. We focus a lot on ethics. Legal ethics are extremely important in our program. Writing is really important in the paralegal field. The hands-on practical skills are extremely important, and that's what students say really helps them as they job hunt and as they start at a new job.
So when I interview a paralegal for a job, I want to be convinced that they are able to lead discussions, that they can keep confidences, that they are detail-oriented, that they can work with a team and yet work independently also.
So it's an interesting package of skills. You need a lot of good intuition. I say the best paralegals, their nickname would be radar, because they can anticipate what the lawyer needs and get it done ahead of time. So between the writing and the technology and the career skills, I think we give the students the complete package.
In 2008, Sally asked me to become her student worker to help get the program ABA approved, because a program that's American Bar Association approved is much more respected.
This program is on fire. The people are good, and it's not their job. It's what they were made to do in life. It's their calling.
We're really lucky here in the Paralegal Studies program because we have really awesome, dedicated students who want to work hard and learn. A lot of them tend to be adult learners because they've maybe been outsourced from their jobs, or they're transitioning into a new career choice. We see our students blossom, we see our students grow, we see life-changing excitement in their worlds.
Each member of the faculty is dedicated to the success of the students. They go out of their way to make sure their students succeed, and they are genuinely excited about the success of the student.
The wonderful faculty that we have here just really helps and promotes, and they have hands-on experience in the fields in which they're teaching, and I think that makes all the difference. They care. They really care.
The other thing too is that all our adjuncts are working now as attorneys actively or retired but from a very active law practice, so they bring those experiences into the classroom.
One of the big things that sets our program apart from other schools and other programs is the paralegal club.
And I really enjoy being a part of Paralegal Club because it allows you to meet every week with your peers. You can talk about similar interests and things that you like, and they also have great volunteer opportunities.
The most important thing about the COD paralegal program to me was the internship and the paralegal practicum at the end, because they make you get an internship with a law firm in the area and you get that practical experience.
I decided to enroll in Intro to Paralegal Studies that spring, and ever since then I just kept rolling with it, and I think it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
COD had a great paralegal program, and the field of paralegal studies really lends itself to my academic strengths. I can take classes at night, work around my work schedule, and it's been a real good experience.
COD is really committed to student success after school. They don't just care about how well you do in school, they want to see you succeed in your career.
Well, the paralegal program here is so excellent that they started an entire committee with the DuPage County Bar Association, and I don't know an attorney in DuPage County that doesn't take a DuPage COD paralegal intern.
For more information about the College of DuPage Paralegal Program, visit cod.edu/paralegal. Is the new year starting off just a bit too cold? College of DuPage Chef Chris Thielman has a perfect remedy to warm you up during these relentless chilly months. Follow along and make this dish on your own as he shares his recipe for butternut squash soup. Next on Images.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with Chris. Today we are making butternut squash soup, one of my favorites. This is Nora Roberts, and she's going to be assisting me today. And so what we're doing here at the College of DuPage, outside of Chicago in Glen Ellen, Illinois, is we're making a soup that I think is very simple and very delicious. I'm a big believer in letting the food do all the speaking. So you'll notice that this recipe is fairly simple, not a lot of ingredients, but it's got a tremendous amount of excellent butternut squash flavor because it is butternut squash soup. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the butter and the onions. So as you can see, we're going to put the butter in the pan and we're going to melt the butter. Turn it up just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to melt the butter, and the first thing you want to do is sweat the onions for a few minutes. Now, if you wanted to caramelize the onions, you could. It'll add a different flavor. If you wanted to leave the onions raw, you could. It'll add a different flavor. I personally think it's nice if you sweat the onions. So what that means is you make them translucent, and it only takes a couple of minutes. So we're going to add the onions. And don't worry if the onions are rough chopped, fine chopped. It really doesn't matter because we're going to puree this soup later. So let me turn it up just a little bit more. There we go. All right, so Nora is going to stir this for a couple minutes as it goes round and round and round. Okay, we're going to sweat those onions. And then we're going to add our butternut squash soup in a couple minutes. We're going to add our potatoes. We're going to add nutmeg and salt. We're going to add chicken stock, and then we're going to add heavy cream. All of these flavor components are going to give you what I like to call layers of flavor. But you can see predominantly looking at them, mostly butternut squash. So you get the most butternut squash flavor. This will be done in just a few more seconds. And so stir a little more there, Nora. Beautiful, beautiful. You're doing a great job, great job. So remember, sweating the onions. This is a technique that's used a lot in cooking. So it means that you start cooking them, but you don't cook them a real lot, but you don't want them raw either. So it's right in between. We call it sweating. Okay, that's ready to go. So now we're going to add the potatoes. We're going to add the butternut squash soup. Butternut squash. And we're going to add some nutmeg, a little bit of nutmeg. And if you want to turn that down, Nora, that would be great. So turn it down to a low simmer. So the salt, the nutmeg. We're going to add the chicken stock. Okay. And we're going to add the heavy cream. Now, because the liquids are in here, now we can turn it back up on high. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to a simmer. So this will be ready in about 20 to 30 minutes. As you can see, it's a very, very fast soup to make with the liquid and everything in there. It's really, really nice and fast. That's something I really like about this particular soup. So we're going to bring this up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, and we'll be back in about 30 minutes or so. Welcome back. Our butternut squash soup has been cooking for about 20 to 30 minutes. It's been about 30 minutes, 35 minutes right in there. And what we did was we simmered it very, very gently. And we covered it up, and so it just kept the steam in a little bit. If you want to cover it, it's fine. If you don't want to cover it, it's fine also. Really, either way works perfect. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to blend the soup. If you have a blender at home, not a problem. I'm going to use an immersion blender. So this one is a commercial model, so you just press the little button and then it starts spinning at the bottom and it's going to puree the soup. The nice thing about this is you don't have to remove it from the pot. So Nora here is going to start and she's going to puree the soup, and it'll only take probably 30 seconds. So she's moving it up and down as she's pureeing. Beautiful. Okay, great. Now, as you can see, one of the main advantages about this tool is you don't have to remove it from the pot. You just have to take this. So this all unscrews, and then you can put it through a dishwasher. Works perfect. So now the soup, we have to always taste the soup. So we're going to adjust it for salt and pepper. So we're going to move this over, and we're going to taste it. Needs a little bit of salt. Oh, not yet, Nora. Hold on. A little bit of salt and a little bit of fresh pepper. Okay, great. If you want to stir that up. Okay, this should be perfect. So if you want to use chicken stock that has no salt in it, again, no problem at all. Me personally, I use the quote-unquote regular chicken stock. All right, so now, of course, your soup has to look beautiful in the bowl. So we're going to add a couple spoonfuls right in the bowl. and then we're going to garnish it, because you can't serve soup that's not garnished. You have to garnish your soup. So we are going to garnish this with a little bit of creme fraiche, a little bit of chervil, and also a little bit of cauliflower that I removed and cooked on the side, a couple little pieces. So if you didn't want to garnish the soup, it's not a problem. I personally think it looks a little bit better. And then we're going to take our creme fraiche. We're going to add just a little bit, a little small dollop. Creme fraiche is a cultured cream product. It's available at almost any store now. And then we're going to take a little bit of chervil and add a little bit to the top. All right, so now Nora and I are going to taste our soup. Oh, she has a spoon. She's ready to go. Fantastic. All right, so we're going to taste our soup. Thanks for coming, everyone. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the butternut squash soup recipe. Very simple, very easy, done in about 30 minutes. Have a great day. Thanks for coming.
For more information about culinary arts courses, degrees, and certificates, as well as other hospitality management program offerings, visit their pages on the web at cod.edu. That's all the time we have for this edition of Images. We hope you enjoyed this program from College of DuPage. Also, you can watch past episodes of Images on demand by visiting our website at cod.edu.